signature. Is it a
Because the
power of?
banks have.
Is it politics inside the organization? Like being able to sign a check is a more of an ego need, right?
It's not only the power. It's also I think it's also finding that as an excuse to not pay an external vendor.
Yeah.
Right. I just think that's one of these things. I think for me, what I'll probably do is clear all the payments for some of the smaller companies, because if we are struggling as bigger companies, clearly those smaller companies might be struggling as well. I think organizations have a responsibility to ensure that those payments are set. Now, when I spoke to a few companies, same answers. We can't go to office to sign the check or get the approval. I said, most banks are offering step-based transfers. You can easily send that. If your salaries are transferred directly to banks of your employees, why can't you just send the payments of your suppliers to their banks also?
Good point. There you go.
So I think, I think this is, I think more than the banks, it's also a question of companies as well as individuals enrolling into services. Now, I bank with about 4 or 5 banks, starting from some of the top international banks to some of the local banks. Touchwood, my experience has been good.
Okay.
I was also forced to go more cashless. I was not a massive cashless guy. Also, I'm selling into banks, selling technology into banks. I was not a massive cashless guy. But this whole thing drove behavioral change in me to go a lot more cashless. Thankfully, I found the facilities that are provided are actually quite good. I pay my father's rent through internet transfers. I pay my employee salaries through internet transfers. So all those things are there. I think it's a question of perhaps maybe better education. Perhaps a lot. If we can drive a lot more adoption than what we have today, I think things will be much better. Because I think the technology is there.
Is it probably because maybe the part of it is in each organization how our accountants and finance guys operate as well? Because maybe the technology is there. Maybe they just simply, as you said, education is them, right? If they pull from the banks, then the financial institutes will be forced to provide those services as well, right?
No, for sure. I think for sure. I think the technology per se is not really the problem.
Understand.
I think we've got to drive adoption, and we've got to drive adoption faster. Look at what happened to the e-commerce industry. You look at the month-on-month growth from March to April maybe February to March, and now March to April. I'm very sure the e-commerce industry would have grown rapidly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? But the question is, why can't we have the same behavior even during normal times? Because I'm sure consumers have now realized the convenience. Pricing is not too different compared to you going to the shop and actually buying stuff. Then I think an interesting ecosystem that I have thought of is, okay, how do you bring the Kade Mudalali into the ecosystem of technology?
Yes.
Because today the Kade Mudalali is a massive stakeholder in this whole fulfillment process.
Yes.
We keep talking about modern trade, which is fine. But general trade is still pretty dominant.
Yes.
But then how do you bring the best of both worlds through tech and do a lot more fulfillment? I think there are some very interesting ecosystems that are coming up. How can businesses which are completely unrelated to each other form to drive an ecosystem? Those are some things that I see, and I hope some of these institutions look at it that way.
Can you give an example, Imran? Sorry, Matt. Can you give an example for what you just said about complementing industries having to work together?
So look at payments, right? Look at the payments industry. Look at the payments industry and look at the merchant network, right? What if you combine payments with merchants of a platform, right? And you connect supply chain through merchants of the platform with payments. And you completely fulfill that entire consumer journey. Traditionally, you will want a fintech company working with a retailer or something. But it doesn't have to be like that. It can even be a bank doing this. Because anything that you do means payments today. Anything that you buy means payments. And you can drive a lot more cashless as a part of it. So you could be connecting different ecosystems or different supply chains of consumer journeys together to create something that may have not even existed before. That for me is the whole learning of this.
Interesting, very very interesting. So, mate, I mean, I think when we evolve, I'm no doubt. I mean, there are obviously going to be winners and losers. There are industries that are. I mean, I'm honestly, it's very interesting because you okay. Sorry, I have so many questions, man. I just trying to process everything in my head. So, first question, man, like you just mentioned at the beginning that you're studying this very interesting supply chain thing, right? What is your take of the big manufacturers in Sri Lanka? And they are the ones who are really badly hit. Outside our hospitality industry, leisure sector is, I'm unsure whether, because these are transition points. When you go through a transition point, industries don't really set back at the normal place they were before. It always sets at a different point. I firmly believe that the leisure sector, hospitality sector will set at a different point. Manufacturing too will set at a different level. And people give very different, I mean, kind of opinions about it. Let's make masks, repurpose people, but those take time, and sometimes it's not even practical because those are, I mean, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of people. So as a person who now had a little bit of hopefully studying on supply chain, where do you think our manufacturers will go from here?
Yeah, I think the manufacturers, especially the apparel industry, is facing a bigger problem than their supply chain. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's a question of the buyers honoring the orders.
Yes.
Which has unfortunately taken a hit. Although I did read recently, which was very encouraging, that H&M has decided to honor all their orders with their Bangladeshi manufacturers.
Right.
If that becomes a trend, I haven't seen anyone following suit over the last 3 days. I think I saw this news about 4-5 days ago.
Yeah.
If that becomes a trend, at least that's some relief for us. I think I read about the apparel industry. As of now, the impact to the industry is roughly about $1.5 billion. Apparel industry is about $6 or $7 billion. So imagine a $1.5 billion industry impact because of buyers actually pulling out from our major markets.
Yeah.
So in that sense, your supply chain alone is not going to fix it for you, right? The second issue that we have is a lot of our imports in the manufacturing industry is also happening from China.
Yes.
Right. So now the Chinese market is kind of opening up.
Yeah.
But the rest of the markets are closed. The rest of the markets are closed.
Yeah.
So how do you sort that out? I think the manufacturers have a much bigger issue, especially when your supply chain is a lot more dependent on other markets.
Yeah. Do you want to make any prediction?
I don't have a short answer for that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has. No, nobody has an answer. Nobody can even make a comment.
I don't think there's an easy answer for that.
Yeah.
I certainly don't, because I don't know that industry too well.
Yeah.
But I think if you read through, if you look at what our especially apparel manufacturers have been doing, I think we've been doing the right things. That's why the industry